Hey guys, welcome to the channel again. It's Joe Jaguar. You know I'm doing an astro video today. Let me show you this guy here. Now this is probably the most popular size in what they call the short tube version. What's a short tube? It basically is a refractor that's very short compared to the diameter. So they make, as I explained in another video, they make 80 millimeter f5, which is a 3.1 inch refractor. Again, f5. They make a 102, which is a 4 inch f5, 120 millimeter f5, and a 150 f5. However, the 6 inch or the 150 model is probably very hard to find now. There is one company that makes a 6 inch f6.5 type of thing, but really it's only the 80 millimeter to the 120 millimeter that's the most common of the short tube or f5 models. Now why this is the most popular one is, again, this is a 80 millimeter, which is a 3.5 inch. Again, as per my other video I explained, this is like the step up from the Astromaster series because it's all metal construction. As you can see, the focuser here is, I'm missing the wheel here, but I'm gonna fix that up. It's a metal construction, focuser housing there. Yes, the diagonal is plastic, but that's okay. The dew cap is metal, and you can take it out, which is nice. So if I put a cap on that, look how much smaller it just became. This one was wrapped by the previous person. It looks like carbon fiber, but it's not. It's just wrapped in a carbon fiber like wallpaper type of thing. So it just makes it look cool, but it really it's still a metal construction. Anyway, so this again is a short tube version, which is huge, wide field of view. Of course, it has low power telescope. It's not meant for high power planetary viewing or double star splitting because it doesn't, what happens is once you go above 100 power on these short tube versions, they lose, well, first of all, they have lots of false color. That is what you don't want to see when you're serious about planetary viewing. So it's so short that the three wavelengths do not come to a focus point. So, but these are not made for that. These are made for, this probably is like 3 pounds. 4 pounds, very lightweight. You can take it on a plane. Going up north, if you want to look at large extended Milky Way objects, the terrestrial viewing, bird watching, land viewing, looking at a building or something like that, anything like that. So this is really meant for wide field viewing type of thing. Don't get this if you want to see the planets in extremely good detail. That's the wrong thing to do. If you want that, then you need a long version refractor, or you need maybe a compound scope like my other one that I showed you, the Maksutovs. Those will give you really good views on telescopes. So either a long format refractor or a compound type of thing like SET, Maksutov, or a high quality lens in here. So if this had a FPL 53 glass or something, the color correction would be very well, even at a f5 format. There'll probably be a little bit of color, but imagine this guy not being 4 times the length. Anyway, that's what this guy is good for. So again, this is the 80 millimeter version. They have a 4 inch version, 4.7, and a 6 inch version, although the 6 inch might be pretty hard to find now. And it's just a very light scope. Now, mind you, when I first started out in the hobby, well, this is probably going back 1996 to 1998. The first time, well, probably about 1998, I went to Mexico, Cancun, and I actually brought a Celestron version of this. So it was this size on an EQ1 scope, and that was fine. It was very light, very portable. I was able to take it on the plane itself. The tripod was a tad long, but you could even put it on a photo kind of tripod, as long as maybe you had slow motion controls, just for a little bit more ease. And it's good for that. And again, as long as you're not looking at the planets and you want to look at some of the deep sky stuff, sure, that can bring it in. Now, just to give you guys an idea, I have, or had, two different 16-inch Dobsonians. Now, I would put a picture up here just so you can see how big a Dobsonian is and how big a 16-inch is. Now, the only thing with this photo I'm going to put up is that I actually customized the base. So it was almost 2 feet taller originally, but I didn't like that particle wood base, and I customized my own base out of hardwood plywood, but I also lowered it, was about 16 inches, and I made the balance be, I did some reading on how you can then balance it, because you're going to throw off the whole balance if you change the balance point 16 inches, a foot and a half lower. It's going to be too top heavy, of course. But I did a lot of reading back then, a Sky and Telescope and Astronomy magazines and a couple other Astro magazines, how to do it with tension, like a spring tension type of thing. And it worked. So it was almost 2 feet taller before. But anyway, here's the size of a 16-inch Dobsonian, what it looks like. Okay, so I took this guy, well, back then it was a Celestron 80 mil f5 to a green zone, okay? And just to show you, the 16-inch in Toronto, which is a white zone, you cannot really see any galaxy. Well, I mean, you could see some galaxies, but really it's just a core of the galaxies, not the full extent. You can see some nebulas type of thing, but if you really want to see that stuff, you have to get away from the city skies. But just to show you guys, I took this size up in a green zone. So light pollution zone goes from the worst to the best. It goes white, red, orange, yellow, then green, then blue, gray, then black. So it's kind of like 8 zones. And I took it to a green zone, which is pretty much halfway. And this blew that 16-inch in a white zone. I could see like the Veil in Nebula. You know what I mean? You could see North American Nebula. The Andromeda Galaxy, M31, you could see the full extent of that galaxy, not just a small little fuzzy core. So just to show you, the most important thing in this hobby, if you can, is get away from dark skies. If you can't, then sure, get a larger telescope. I normally tell people 8-inch to about 12-inch if you live in the city, if it's white zone, red zone, even an orange or yellow zone, and you want to see more of that deep sky stuff like nebulas, galaxies, and things like that. You need like an 8-inch to 12. Anything beyond the 12, it's too big, it's too heavy, and the gain is going to be so minimal, it's not worth it. Again, if you live there, you're probably better off to get a smaller scope that's portable and just go further out even, and you'll see it 10 times better. But anyway, this is what an 80 millimeter refractor looks like. This is probably the most popular of the short tube version, 80 mil f5. They do have an 80 millimeter f8, f10. Again, if you like the planets more, you can go to the f8 model. If you want to see the planets even better, but it's going to be a little bit longer, a little bit heavier. You might need a mount a little bit bigger. You can go to the f11, 12 model, but that's it. But this is what this guy is. It has its place. It's very popular. Most people have one of these for like comet NEO-eyes and other comets and stuff. This is perfect. It's almost like a binocular field of view, except with a single eye and not dual. So anybody, well, it's past now, comet NEO-eyes, but this would have been perfect for that scope as well. If you put, like, for instance, a 32 millimeter 1.25 eyepiece, you're probably at about, I don't know, somewhere between 12 and 16 power, which is basically what a lot of binoculars are. So you're not much more than a binocular power. Field of view is kind of similar. So if that's what you like, wide field of view, this is a very good scope. A lot of people have them. Of course, I have one. That's it, guys. So this is what this looks like. That's what it's good for. I'll see you guys on the next video. Joe Jaguar Art out. Like, comment, and subscribe.